Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men all my life. Like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, this is Alex Sayin, and I'm with Evan Carmichael. Hey, this is Alex Sayin, and Evan created this channel to help you overcome the #1 challenge that's holding you back. And that is a lack of belief in yourself. So get ready for some mindset shifting advice from Evan Carmichael to help you with motivation, confidence, and belief that you need. So let's kick it off with rule number 1, take action now.
I'm going to teach you a strategy right now that will change your life. It's called the 2% difference. The 2% difference is as soon as you get an idea for something, as soon as you get an idea for a new thing that you want to try out, you go do it. And it's called the 2% difference because most people, when they come up with an idea, what they do is they think about it, they plan, they strategize, right? You got an idea to go launch something, great, you go home, you strategize, you tinker, you plan, you think about it. But then you wake up tomorrow a different person. You wake up tomorrow a different person. You were feeling bold yesterday, you came with this great bold vision for yourself, amazing, you're feeling on top of the world yesterday, you wake up tomorrow a different person. And then you don't do anything about it. Maybe you research a little bit more and then that idea is dead. I believe that the decisions that you make when you're feeling bold, unstoppable, and confident are actually the right ones for you, and then your head talks you down from doing them. We just don't live in the land of bold and confidence 24/7. We spend 1% of our life, if that, feeling bold and confident, and the other 99 feeling scared and afraid and back down to where we were before. So the decisions you make when you're feeling bold and confident are the right ones for you. And therefore, the first step you need to take is not planning, is not strategizing, is not thinking, it's action. The 2% difference. What that means is instead of going home and strategizing and planning on how to get to 100% of your goal, build immediate momentum on how to get to 2% of your goal. Focus on taking action to get 2% of the way close to hitting your goal. And then that momentum will carry you forward to helping you get through to the rest of the 100. So here's an example. I'm filming this from Las Vegas. I'm on this tour right now. I promised Nina, I made a decision. I'm going to take Nina to every city in North America with 1 million+ people. That was the goal that I had. Great. Most people would go home, start researching, thinking how many cities are there in North America with 1 million+ people? How are we going to do it? Nina has a full-time job, on and on and on and on about all the reasons why you're not going to be able to do it. And you start planning and strategizing. Great. No, that's not the way to do it. Because you'd wake up tomorrow a different person and say, I don't know about that goal. I can't do that. And you start talking yourself down from it. So while you're feeling the boldness of it, when you're feeling capable, when you actually feel capable of accomplishing that goal, you go off and you do something. So I said, great, this weekend I'm going to go to Boston. Nina had never been to Boston, so this weekend we're going to go to Boston. And I messaged her to say, Nina, I've decided I'm going to take you to every city in North America with 1 million+ people, and this weekend we're going to go to Boston. Turns out there's 50 cities on the list. I don't know how I'm going to get to my 50 cities yet, but I can hit one, and that's 2%. If you cannot get to the first 2% immediately, you will never get to the 50, you'll never get to the 100. It's just never going to happen. This is the problem for most entrepreneurs. You plan too much, you strategize too much, you think too much, you're too smart. We're smart. And so you find really smart reasons why you can't do something. You're a perfectionist, you're worried about putting something out before it's ready, and then you never release it. The people who I've met on this tour, I feel so bad for them. It blows my mind of people who've waited decades plus to move forward on their idea. That idea that you have, that you're sitting on, you need to go do something about it right now. That's the difference. There are dummies who are winning in your industry, who don't have as much intellect as you, who don't have as much passion as you, who don't have as much of a heart and a cause of wanting to do something good to serve as you do, and they're winning and you're not. Why? Because they're actually off doing the work and you're sitting on your couch at home strategizing, researching, planning, thinking about it, and being too afraid to go off and take action. And so the 2% difference, the next time you feel yourself coming up with an idea, and we get ideas all the time, you get an idea, train yourself, idea, Trust that it comes from somewhere, right? That idea comes from somewhere. Don't judge it. Don't be critical of it. It came from somewhere. You have a responsibility to do something about it. Idea to action. Idea to action. Train yourself. Idea to action. You thought of something today? You thought of something in the shower? Great. Idea to do something. Idea to action. The 2% difference. Stop planning your way on how to get to 100% of your goal and figure out what can you do right now, today, immediately to get 2% of the way. Start applying that principle. It will change your life.
Rule number 2, change your mindset.
I'm gonna give you the most important strategy that the next time you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling defeated, you're feeling like giving up, will save you and help you find that inner strength and next gear. Here it is. Tell yourself it's the best. The next time you're feeling down, frustrated, depressed, angry, tell yourself it's the best. Because now this is your chance to show yourself and the world what you're made of. The next time you're stuck at a red light and you're frustrated and complaining, it's the best. The next time you're working out and you feel like you're on your last set and your lungs are on fire and you can't push again, it's the best. The next time you're frustrated in business that you're not getting the sales you need and you feel like you're waking up every day and there's no momentum, it's the best. It's the best. This is your chance. This is your chance. You can complain for 7.5 seconds and get frustrated and then tweak it inside your brain to say, this is the best. Why? What does it do? First, it switches your mindset to one of hopelessness to one of resourcefulness. It switches your mindset from one of hopelessness, that this sucks, that I'm giving up, I'm defeated, it's over. Why is this happening to me? Why does this suck? To one of resourcefulness, that this is the best. This is my chance, because you grow through challenges, and this is the next challenge in front of me that I am going to grow through.
Rule number 3, change your perspective.
Most entrepreneurs can't handle a major setback. You can't. You can handle a whole bunch of little setbacks, a little bit of punch to the face, but you can't handle a major setback. When there's a major meltdown, what do? Do you get back up? Do you find another way, or do you quit? And most entrepreneurs, most businesses will quit. Look at how many companies are still around. Look at the biggest companies in the world. How many of them were around 100 years ago? Not very many. Most companies go out of business because they can't adjust, they can't evolve, they don't love the dark clouds enough. Let's look at YouTube as an example. Whenever there's a major algorithm change, everybody's upset, everybody's complaining, everybody is freaking out, like, oh, I don't like it, right? They complain. I get pumped because it's my chance to win. Now, it sucks because it's a lot of work, because you got to figure out a new path. But everybody who's ahead of you, who's complaining, that's your chance to win. And so I'm going through it right now. I look at my channel, and making 3 videos a day might be a setback for my channel. Even this video, I don't know where it's going to be. It might be on my main channel, might be on a sub channel that I'm making. It's a big potential strategic shift for me to say going from 1 channel to 3 or 8. Haven't fully figured it out yet, but I'm pumped. While other people are suffering and struggling and complaining that this is the new YouTube. I'm going to test it out. Immediate action. Let's go. It's not that loving the dark clouds, at least for me, it's not that loving the dark clouds. You want negativity to happen. You want there to be controversy. You want chaos to happen. You want your competitors to go out of business. You want it to be difficult. It's not that. It's that's your chance to win. And so the best thing I recommend is flip it in your head. Learn to tell yourself that this is the best. When everybody else is complaining, when everybody else is struggling, even when you put all this work into doing something and now it's collapsing on you, it's really hard to stay positive. Tell yourself this is the best. This is my opportunity to prove to myself and the world what I'm made of. And then if you can move from a place of resourcelessness to resourcefulness and find a path while everybody else is ahead of you and complaining, that's your chance to win.
Rule number 4, be patient.
Entrepreneurs generally don't have a lot of patience, and that's actually a good thing. We want things now, we want to hustle hard, we want to see the results of our labor paying off, we want to see, change happening, we have a big vision, we know it can work, and we want it to happen right now. And that's amazing. I want you to hold on to it. And at the same time, I want you to have incredible patience, because what ends up happening is entrepreneurs often quit too soon. You had the right idea, you had the right vision, you even had the right execution starting it up, but you just quit. You thought it was gonna happen in 3 months, where it's actually gonna happen in 3 years. For what you're doing every single day, you need to be applying yourself and close off every other opportunity for 4 years, and then you'll be successful. 4 years ago on my YouTube channel, I had 7,000-ish subscribers.
4 years ago. How did I get here with 1.2 million? By making videos every single day. Every single day. We haven't missed a day in 4 years, and in the past 2 or 3 years it's been 3 times a day, or at least 2 times a day. Just grinding it out. And in those little micro moments, in those micro videos, it's super impatience, right? It's like this video has to deliver, this video now has to deliver, this next one, this one right here has to deliver. There's a lot of impatience to make things happen, and it's knowing that this is gonna take me years to get to where I wanna go.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out our 254 series. The links to join are in the description below.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident. Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
Create an outline and a schedule. What I found really helpful for me was to create an outline at the start.
Rule number 5, live your truth.
Most people aren't happy in life because they're living somebody else's truth. You're not living your truth, you're living somebody else's version of it. Your parents, your family, your culture, your society, you're living somebody else's version of it. And so you're never happy because you never explored it. You never picked at it. You never found out what you could be. And you settled for something less than what you're capable of. You know you're capable of more. You may not know what the thing is that you should be doing, but you know it's not this thing right in front of you. I can't tell you how many people I've met on this tour who have that story to share. I had a woman whose father told her that women should not be doing any kind of entrepreneurial ventures, that women are meant to be teachers. And so she spent 15 years being a teacher before having the courage to jump off and start her own business. And now she has a multi-million-dollar construction business. I had a girl come up in Albuquerque, where I am right now, who studied for years to be an accountant. Why? Because her mom was an accountant. And so her mom made her go study to become an accountant. And she didn't know what she wanted to do. So she said, okay, great. Yeah, I'll be an accountant. She just graduated and realized, I don't want to be an accountant. This isn't for me. It's easy. It's the path that my parents took. Like, it's great for me to get into it. I can get easy money. You know, my mom said, I'll like it when the money starts coming in, but money's coming in and I don't like it. I want to do something else. I know I'm meant for something greater. And so she told her mom, I don't want to do this. I want to learn how to be a management consultant, and I'm going to go back to school. That takes a lot of guts. That takes a lot of courage. Most people do not have that courage. Most people do not have the courage to stand up to their parents and say, I don't want this life. It doesn't mean you have to hate them. You have to attack them. You have to tell them they're wrong. This is for you. You don't want that life. Most people never have that courage. And the story that comes to mind for me is Accio Morita. And use this as motivation, as wisdom. If you are trying to battle your parents or your culture, your friends or your society, remember Accio Morita. He started Sony. Now, he came from 11 or 12 generations of sake brewers, Japanese background. The Japanese culture is super family oriented, and the oldest always takes over the family business. The oldest has to follow in line with what the family was doing. And so he was expected to take over the sake business. And it's not just one generation. You're talking 11 or 12 generations in a Japanese society. And he said, I don't want to do this. I want to start my own business, a technology company, at a time when Japan was known for super low quality products. This is the man who put Japan on the map for high quality products. That products coming out of Japan meant something, was a stamp of quality because of Accio Morita. And he went on to build one of the most successful brands in the world, Sony. But it starts with having the courage to say, that's not my life, that's not my truth.
Rule number 6, surround yourself with greatness.
This is why I keep going with my YouTube channel. This is the reason why I keep going with my YouTube channel, because yes, your spouse is important, and yes, your friends are important, and the people that you hang out with are super, super, super important. And all the other people that you hang out with by reading books and consuming content, watching videos, all of that makes an impact too. The more that you spend hanging around people and ideas and wisdom that bring you up, the more you're going to rise up. And the more you're around people who are complaining and negative and pulling you down, guess what happens? The more you're gonna be pulled down. And one of the big reasons for me in creating this channel was I wanted to be around successful entrepreneurs. I wanted to be around people who would push me to go off and do more. Because in my life, I'm super fortunate to have a very understanding wife, a very supportive family, friends who encourage me and always support the things that I'm doing. But I don't have people who are pushing me to do better. I don't have people who say, you know what you're doing is great, but you should be out here. Like, you could be making these adjustments and playing a bigger game. You can have a bigger impact.
And so I needed more of that in my life. And so my solution to finding it was the videos, was I want to hang around Elon Musk, and I want to hang around Steve Jobs, I want to hang around Warren Buffett, I want to hang around these people who are thinking on a bigger scale, because the more you do that, the more you ingest this content, the more you're gonna think like them, the more you're gonna act like them, the more you're gonna take these pieces to not only just be like them, but to be the best version of you.
Rule number 7, don't try to please everybody.
So listen, everybody's gonna have an opinion on what you should do with your life. Everybody, your friends, your family, your culture, your society, your community, your customers, online haters, everybody's got an opinion on what you should do with your life. And it's tempting to wanna take the advice. One, because it gives us advice, but two, there's also somebody to blame, right? Like if it doesn't work out, it's not my fault, it's that person's fault. They said I should do it. At some point though, you have to decide that you are going to be an adult, that you are in control, that you want to go off and build your own life, and only you know what that looks like. And you have to have the courage and the confidence to step up and say, I'm in charge. This is my life now. I get to decide what I want to do. And some opinions will matter, and some opinions will make a difference, and others you have to let bounce off you. You're not going to be able to please everybody. Everybody has an opinion on what you should do with your life, and the only one that really matters truly is this one right here. So how do you decide? How do you know what the difference is? How do you know which opinions you should take, which you should listen to? Because on the one hand, it's you want to take advice, you want to take counsel, you don't know everything. And on the other hand, it's your life, you got to decide. How do you make those two things work together? Number one is understand what your one word is. Your one word is your most important core value. Mine is believe, yours is whatever it is. It's worth going through the exercise. I think it's one of the most important exercises you can ever do in your life. It becomes the filter through which you see the world. And so for me, it's believe. And believe is around believing in yourself, having self-confidence, believing in the work that you're doing, having passion for it, and believing that it's going to work out, believing in the impact, believing that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even if you only see darkness around you right now. That's believe. And so all of the decisions that I make are through the lens of believe. Every new piece of content that I put on my channel is through the lens of believe. And so if you give me advice that has nothing to do with believe, it may be great potential advice, but it's not for me. How do I know what's for me? Because I'm standing on my rock of belief. And if you don't know what value you stand on, it's easy to get pulled in a lot of different directions.
Rule number 8, be consistent.
Most entrepreneurs don't win because they're not consistent enough. It's not because you don't have talent or skills or energy. You're just not consistent enough. You're not consistent enough. Too many entrepreneurs get all pumped up and motivated, and you're working like crazy and you have an amazing day. And then the next day you wake up and you're back to your normal life. And you're not consistently putting in the effort. The reason why my YouTube channel has won is because I made videos every single day for 5 years. 5 years ago plus, I had 7,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Now we're over 1.8 million. Not because I'm super talented. I'm not. Go back and watch my videos. You'll see how I sucked at the beginning. Super nervous, awkward in a suit, sitting down, just terrible. But by making videos every single day, I got better. And I was able to conquer what I didn't have any natural talent in, because I learned to develop the skill by beating on my craft every single day. And so this is one of the major problems for entrepreneurs. I think a lot of people could have done what I've done. I think a lot of you watching, you could have done what I've done. You have more natural talent than I do. The difference is I got up every day for 5 years and did it. And so I don't think it's that special. I think it's just putting in the effort and the hustle every single day. And that's a big reason why so many entrepreneurs don't win. You are just not consistent enough in your effort.
Rule number 9, find your genius.
I like to say that everybody has Michael Jordan level talent at something. I believe it. I think you have Michael Jordan level talent at something. I think you're a genius, a legit, bona fide genius. You should be off there changing the world. I believe it. I think you have that talent. I think you have that capabilities. Most people don't. Most people, one, they don't believe in themselves enough to actually go off and chase it. And most people, two, don't go off and explore to find the thing that they have genius at, that they could be Michael Jordan at, Warren Buffett at. And instead, you try to photocopy somebody else's life. You try to be the next somebody. No, you're a genius. Let's go. Let's chase it down. That's why I'm on my mission. I want to solve the world's biggest problem, untapped human potential. I think everybody is that genius, and they either don't know what the thing is that they should be doing, or they don't believe in themselves hard enough to go and chase it down. So let's work through those two things. Whatever camp you fall into, there's going to be advice that will help you. One, you don't know what you're a genius at. Amazing. What's the path? You explore, you test, you try. People settle way too early in life. You settle. How do you know if you like sushi or not until you taste it? You don't. You should be trying everything. I think everybody should try to be an entrepreneur. Everybody should try to have a YouTube channel. Everybody should try to have a podcast. Everybody should try to be an accountant. Like, you should try. You should pick up everything just to get a sense. Say yes to everything once. Adopt that mindset mentality. We get locked in to career paths way too soon. Why? Because that's what our parents did? Because that's what we went to school for? Why? You're going to now live the rest of your life doing something because you've only tried 5 different things and now you're going to pick? Like, that's a recipe for disaster. That's why 95% of America wakes up and drives to the job that they hate. You have to try. You have to say yes. And don't tie your self-worth to the results. You will suck at the beginning. Whatever you first start doing, you will suck. It will not work out. My first YouTube videos sucked. Go back, watch it, so you can see how bad I was when I first started my videos. I sucked. I was awkward. I was nervous. I was introverted. It took me 350 videos until I wasn't completely embarrassed by myself. 350 videos. And so the acid test needs to be, do you like the process? Do you want to go back and do it again? You may not have been good at it, but do you want to go off and do it again? So you need to say yes to a whole bunch of things. When you don't know what you want to do in life, you need to say yes to almost everything. As long as it falls within your personal, values, ethics, you're not harming yourself, most things you should go off and try. I think you should try. I don't think you've tried enough. If you don't know what you want to do in life, you have not tried enough.
Rule number 10, don't obsess with perfection.
Stop trying to be perfect. One of the biggest things that holds entrepreneurs back is you have an idea in your head and you want to launch it, but you're afraid to launch anything until it's perfect. You're afraid to put anything out into the world until you have the perfect plan, the perfect product, the perfect competitive advantage, and that does not exist. And the biggest danger of all is that just stays an idea for you for the rest of your life, that it never actually gets created because you can never reach perfection. Because you're afraid of releasing the thing out into the world, and so you never will. Where everybody who you look up to, the people who've had massive success, any entrepreneur, they released something before it was perfect, they got feedback, they adjusted, they listened to it, and that became the thing that propelled them to massive success. And so you need to move from that place of trying to have everything be 100% perfect before you launch, and just get used to actually creating, actually doing, actually putting stuff out there into the market, instead of sitting on your couch, hoping, wishing, dreaming, planning, strategizing, but never actually doing.
Rule number 11, believe.
Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Right? Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. One of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs don't win, because you don't believe in yourself enough. It's why do I have this channel? Why is my one word believe? Look at the back of Nina's sweater. There it is, right? Believe. That's it. It's so important. There's so many, you guys are geniuses. There's so many geniuses, massively talented people out there with amazing ideas that can change the world, but you don't go off and crush it because you don't believe in yourself enough. I think the 2 biggest problems in the world are, 1, recognizing that you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, believing that you have something in you, that you're not meant to just wake up and photocopy your life every day working for somebody else, just believing that. And 2, then believing in that ability. Believing that you have Michael Jordan level talent as something, and then when you found it, believing in it enough to chase it down every day to get better, because you need to beat on your craft, because it may be something that's totally outside what is normal in your family, because it may be something way outside what is normal for your culture or your society or your community, but you have to go off and do that crazy thing. And it's really hard to believe in yourself enough to chase it down, especially when it's against what everybody around you is saying and what they believe. And so, great, yes, I need to believe in myself, amazing. How do you do it? What's the process? How do you gain self-belief? You need to eliminate the negativity in your life and replace it with belief. So think about, what are the thoughts, who are the people, what are the things around you that keep you where you are, that keep these negative patterns in your head? Is it your parents? Is it your friends? Is it the TV shows you're watching, the media you're consuming? Like, what is it that is toxic, that makes you feel small? And as much as possible, you either cut it out of your life or reduce the exposure. If it's your mom who's always on you and says you can't go be an entrepreneur, maybe you just don't talk about your career with your mom. You put boundaries up. I don't want to talk about this. There's other things that we have in common. You focus on that stuff. You lay out the ground rules. You make them respect you. And you don't talk about the things that you know is going to lead to conflict. And for other people, you may need to just completely cut them out of your life. If it's your best friend from growing up, just because you were friends in grade 4 doesn't mean you should still be friends with adults. A lot of our friendships are out of convenience. You're with people just because it's convenient to be with people. But you've grown apart, and you have to recognize that. If somebody is toxic around you, you shouldn't be with them. And if you are, it's micro doses. And so you need to cut out a lot of the crap in your life. Anything that's causing negativity or self-doubt needs to be eliminated from your life as much as possible. Great, now you have a vacuum. Now you've got this hole. Now there's this void inside you. Great, what do? You fill it up with positivity. You fill it up with belief. My channel is a pretty good resource. I got this channel, I got the other channels. We got 3 videos plus a day coming out across my channels that if you want more belief in your life, here's a great resource for you. But forget about me. It's not about me. It's about you. What makes you feel belief? If it's watching videos, great. If it's listening to a podcast, reading a book, doing an act of service, meditating, prayer, whatever the thing is that helps you feel belief, do that every single day. Fill yourself up with it. I inject myself with so much vitamin C belief. I see belief as this injection and I put it into myself every day. I have so much of it in me that if somebody sneezes their toxicity on me, I'm not going to get sick because I've done the work, because I'm surrounded with so much belief. That's what you need for your life as well.
Rule number 12, know your why.
Step number 2 is your why. Why do you do what you do? Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose comes from your pain. The thing that you will enjoy the most in life is helping people who currently are going through whatever you massively struggled with. Think about the biggest pain in your life, whatever that was growing up, the biggest pain, the thing you'd never want to have to repeat or go through again, that pain, that deep, dark pain you wouldn't wish upon your enemies, that pain, the worst day of your life, that pain. Your greatest joy in life will be helping people who are currently going through that pain and getting them through it. That's it. That's your purpose for life. That will never get old. That will be with you for life. And so for me, starting up as an entrepreneur was my biggest pain. I felt worthless. I was making $300 a month. I was suffering and struggling and just felt defeated as a human being. That's why I love helping out other entrepreneurs. And that's going to be it for life. That'll be my purpose for life.
Rule number 13, don't quit.
You need to do things that make you proud of yourself. You need to do the difficult things. When it's hard and you do it and you try and you keep going, that's when you feel proud about yourself. When you quit early, even if everybody gives you a logical reason for doing it, say, hey, it's okay, don't worry about it, quit. You should quit. Take it easy. But you know deep down inside yourself, you can't quit. You have to do the work that makes you feel proud, because if you face difficulties and then quit, that's what you're teaching yourself. That's a story inside your head. And there's no way you're gonna go off and accomplish those big, bad, impossible dream goals of yours if you quit every time it gets hard. I had a guy come to my Columbus workshop and he had a goal to do 6 days a week cold showers. It was Friday night. Saturday night was his day off from cold showers. It was Friday night he comes to my workshop and he says, it's been winter here in Columbus. I'm at my girlfriend's house all day today. It's been freezing. I've been inside the house. It's been freezing all day. I didn't do my cold shower today. Evan, what should I do? Should I take my cold shower? I said, well, are you proud of the reason why not? Are you proud of the reason that you're in a cold house all day and so that's good justification for you? I said, no, I'm not proud of the reason. Great, then you have to do it. You have to go take your cold shower. And after the workshop, he got home at 11:30 at night and he took an Instagram video from the waist up, getting into the cold shower and freezing his face off. And then I said, you have to go off and do it again tomorrow too. Even though Saturday's your day off, you have to get up and do it again tomorrow, just to show yourself, just to prove to yourself what you're made of. When it's difficult and you try, that's when you win. That's when you actually feel good about yourself, when it's difficult and you keep going. Even if the results suck, even if past the 40%, your results are starting to decline. You feel great about yourself because you kept going. But if you quit as soon as it gets hard, that's what you're teaching yourself to do. And so I see entrepreneurs and leaders as trees. You're a tree. Your responsibility as a tree is to eat poison, carbon dioxide, right? You eat poison. You eat it, you grow from it, and then you spit out positivity and oxygen for the people around you, right? For yourself and the people around you. You grow from it. Your job is to eat adversity. Your job is to eat judgment. Your job is to eat difficulties.
and you grow from it. And then you create opportunities and possibilities for yourself and the people around you. That's your job. And so the next time that you find yourself in a difficult situation, you want to quit, you want to give up, you're at that mark, your brain wants to quit on you, remind yourself, I'm a tree. I'm a tree. I'm going to grow from this. This is my chance to get better. This is my chance to eat it, to grow from it, and then create possibilities for other people. That's your job if you want to be an amazing leader and an amazing entrepreneur. And I'm cheering for you.
Rule number 14. That's a lot. Wait, is it 50 rules? Wait 1 second. Be more consistent. Rule number 14. Be consistent.
Lack of consistency is one of the biggest reasons why entrepreneurs fail. It's one of the biggest reasons. You're a genius, you have great ideas, you want to serve, you know you're capable of more, and you have these moments of inspiration and moments of boldness and moments of massive productivity and focus and clarity, but it's not consistent. And that's why most entrepreneurs will lose. Because you might crush it on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Monday, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you fall back down. Until the next Saturday when you're up and flying again. It's not enough. It's much more about what you do every day. You are what you consistently do. It's a huge problem for entrepreneurs, so let's fix it. Number one, if you are a part-time entrepreneur, if you work for someone else, you're a part-time entrepreneur, you need to make sure that every single day you're working on your business. Every single day, you have to work on your business, no matter what. Even if it's for 15 minutes at night, every single day, you cannot let momentum die. Even just to show yourself that you can. Even if it's a crazy long day and your boss is yelling at you and you come home and your spouse is angry and your kids are sick, even then, you have to spend 15 minutes on your business, half an hour on your business, every single day. You cannot let the momentum die. Don't disappoint yourself. Number two, if you're already full-time in your business, great. You need to have CEO time every day in your business. CEO time. Time where you spend being the CEO. What does that mean? It's different for different entrepreneurs, but when you're working on the business instead of in it, if you spend all time just working in the business, just putting out fires and never growing, guess what? You're never going to grow. If you never have CEO time built into your business, you will never be a CEO. And so you need to make sure that every day you have CEO time built into your business. Again, maybe it's only half an hour, but in that half an hour, you're spending time growing your company, you're going to start seeing results. And my last tip is I want you to start your morning off powerfully. I want you to chart your start. I want you to have a morning routine that inspires you, that makes you feel bold. Most people, what do when they wake up? First thing they do is they hit the snooze button. What does that mean? It means last night you set a goal. I'm going to wake up at a certain time, right? I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 a.m., 12, noon. I don't care what time you have to wake up. You set a goal, you're going to wake up. And then the very first thing that you do, how you start your day every day is you say, I am not going to hit my goal today. That's how you start your day. That's how most of America starts their day. They say, I'm not going to hit my goal today. How do you think you're going to go off and have an amazing day and crush it and go hit your crazy big goals and ambitions that you have as an entrepreneur when you tell yourself and you reinforce it every morning that you are the kind of person who doesn't hit their goals? You got to change that. You got to wake up. Wake up when you say you're going to wake up. Get out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed. That's step one. Then step two is, what is a morning routine that sets you up for success? Most people wake up like it's an accident. They wake up, you check your phone, you're responding to other people's emergencies and their agenda for your time. That's not how you need to start your day. Successful people, they own their morning. What does your morning look like? And we've all felt inspired and bold at some point. You felt it. You've been bold, you've been inspired at some point in your life. Great. Whatever that thing was that made you feel bold, unstoppable, inspired, put that into your morning routine. Maybe it's watching a video, maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's doing an act of kindness, maybe it's meditating, maybe it's prayer, whatever it is, with intention, because some of you have a morning routine already. I'm talking to you. You have a morning routine already, but you're not crushing it every day. You're not coming out of that morning routine feeling bold, inspired consistently. That's what we're talking about. Consistency here. Sometimes you just go through the motions of your morning routine. Sometimes you just pray, but you're not really connecting. Sometimes you just watch a video, but you're making your breakfast, you're brushing your teeth, and you're not paying attention. With intention, do your morning routine. You must come out of your morning routine every single day feeling bold, unstoppable, and confident. If you did that, if you woke up every day on time like you say you're going to, you're not going to hit the snooze button, you get out of bed, and then you did the thing that made you feel bold, powerful, and unstoppable every single day, holy cow, I guarantee you your life 1 year from today will look dramatically different than where you are right now. Consistency is the game. You are what you consistently do, and I want to see you win.
Rule number 15, inoculate yourself against judgment.
The more you live your life based on what other people think of you, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Listen, you're an entrepreneur. You want to do crazy things. You have a bold, ambitious vision for what you want to accomplish in your life. You want to change the way something's done in an industry, right? That's what we want to do. We want to change the world. You know what? There's a lot of people who want to protect the world, the status quo. They want to protect the way things are done. You want to come in and shake up an industry? There's a lot of people who want to protect that industry. There's a lot of people who don't like change. There's a lot of people who are so afraid of seeing you be successful because it means that they suck. Right? There's a lot of people who will, in your environment, in your family, in your home, your friends, people who they don't want to see you win because it means they suck, because you've left them, because it means that they're not good anymore, because they judge themselves based off of what everybody else is doing. And a lot of people have someone in their family who went off and crushed it, and they tried it, and then they failed, right? They tried it, they may have had some success, and then they failed, and now nobody else around them is allowed to be successful. All they want to do is pull everybody else down. They took their shot, ultimately didn't work, and now they pull everybody else around them. You can't let that be you. The more you want to go off and have a bold, ambitious life for yourself, the more you're going to have to learn to what I call inoculate yourself against judgment. You need to inoculate yourself against judgment. The judgment of your friends, your parents, the people around you, the general public, social media. Inoculate yourself against judgment. As long as you care what other people think of you, you will lose. You will play small forever. You will not be living your version of your life. And so how do you do it? How do you inoculate yourself against judgment? Here's how it goes. Anytime you feel your heart beating, boom, 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 boom. Your heart's beating, you're nervous, you're scared, you're worried about what somebody's going to think of you, you have to do the thing. You train yourself. Even if it's not an expression of you, even if you don't really care about doing that thing or not, you have to do it just to train yourself. Something like this would have been really difficult for me 10 years ago. Filming on the street was really hard. I'd be worried about what people think of me. I'd be worried about me standing here, San Francisco, people walking by, what they think of me. Yelling into my phone, yelling into this microphone here, talking to you guys right here. It's scary. And so because there's potential judgment, you get scared and then you don't do the thing. Teach yourself to do the thing. If filming in public sounds like a scary thing to you, like, oh, I couldn't do that, go do it. Go find the busiest street that you can find and then go make a video. And here's the thing, expect it to suck. You're not going to be great the first time you do something. That's okay. Expect to suck. Expect it to be the worst video you've ever made. And then pat yourself on the back and say, I did it.
Rule number 16, take action.
The first thing most people do after they make a decision is they plan, they strategize, they tinker, they think, and it's the worst thing you can do. Here's why. You make a bold decision. You say, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to go off and do this crazy, amazing thing. And then you go home and you think of all the ways that it can happen, and you start planning and strategizing. It's amazing. You feel great. And then you wake up tomorrow and you're a different person. You wake up tomorrow a different person, and that person says, you can't do that. You can't follow through on that. Who are you to take on that big idea? And then nothing happens. Nothing happens. And so the solution after you get an immediate idea is action. Don't worry about planning. Even imperfect action, just action. Because you need to build it into your nervous system that you're the kind of person who follows through. Because you need to make some commitment so that by the time you wake up tomorrow, you've committed to following through. That's the biggest problem. I call it the 2% difference. So what most people will do is they'll plan to 100%. You get an idea, you gotta plan. You gotta go home, you gotta plan. You gotta plan all the way to the end. And it's amazing, and you think about it, it's such a great place to live in as entrepreneurs, as perfectionists, as over-planners. We love living in that world. Don't worry about planning to 100%. Instead, find the 2% difference. What can you do right now to get 2% of the way? If you don't get 2% of the way immediately through action, you will never get to 100% of the way.
Rule number 17, find your one word.
I think people struggle with goals because they struggle with self-awareness, because they don't know who they are. And so they're constantly adjusting the goals that they have for themselves based off what other people think of them and based off what they see out in the media or on Instagram or on YouTube. They don't have self-awareness. You got to figure out what your one word is, what your most important core value is. Who are you as a human being? I wrote a whole book on this, but just as a quick brainstorm opportunity for you right now, think about what is your single most important core value. What is it? If you had to pick one core value as a human being, what is it? For me, it's believe. I like believing in people. I need to believe in people. I hate negativity. I hate toxic people. I hate the haters, right? I don't want to be around people saying that you can't do this. I am the opposite. I I need to believe. And so already right there, already having that awareness of what your one word is, what your who is, when you figure that out, it allows you to make better decisions. It means that if you were in a work environment, if I was in a work environment where people didn't believe in each other, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would be frustrated, be upset, I'd be angry. And now I know why, because my one word is believe. And so what is your single most important core value? Figure that out. It's one of the most important exercises you can ever do in your life. It's super helpful, it's valuable, it's important. You need to do it. Otherwise, you will never have clarity over your goals.
Rule number 18, do difficult things.
Self-love comes from doing difficult things. Self-love comes from doing things that you think are beyond your comfort zone, that you're not capable of doing, and just getting up and trying to do it. That's when you love yourself. When something is easy and you win, you actually don't feel that great about yourself. If you were to go and run a race against 3-year-olds and you won, great, yeah, you won. You might even post about it on Instagram, but you don't love yourself. You don't feel good about yourself because you played small, because it was easy, because you were expected to win, because it was inside your comfort zone. When you play inside your comfort zone always, you don't love yourself. It comes from doing difficult things. That's how you build respect. That's how you build credibility. That's how you build self-love for you. Forget about how other people respect or look at you. It's how you feel about yourself. That's the game. And that comes from doing difficult things. So if you ran a race against 3-year-olds and you won, great. Who cares? You don't feel great about yourself because you were expected to win. But if you ran a race against Usain Bolt and he ran backwards on one leg, he would still probably destroy you. But you should feel great about yourself because you did the thing when it was hard to do the thing. You might have lost to Usain Bolt, but you got in the race against him. That's how you build self-love. When you tie your self-respect, when you tie your self-worth, when you tie your self-love to the effort that you put in on a daily basis, that's when you start to win. When you tie your self-love to winning, to getting results, you lose. When you tie your self-love to how many likes you have on Instagram or views or subscribers on YouTube, you lose. It's about the effort. Are you putting in the effort every day? Because if you are proud of your effort on a daily basis, I promise you, you are going to crush it. But if you are only proud of yourself when you win, here's what's going to happen. You're only going to take on small things. You're going to play small your entire life because you're only going to take on projects that you have a pretty high chance of winning at, because that's how you have love for yourself. And that's a losing game because you're capable of more. You're capable of doing a lot more stuff. You're capable of playing a bigger game. You're capable of having a bigger impact. You have to. It's your duty. It's your duty to love yourself. When you love yourself, you'll be able to spread that more and help other people. And so how do you love yourself? It comes from doing difficult things. It comes from when your heart's beating like crazy and you're scared and it's some big project and you say, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to do that scary thing. I'm going to try to record a video in public where people may be watching you. Doesn't mean your video has to be great. Chances are it's going to suck. But you tried. And you should feel great about yourself.
Rule number 19, have big dreams.
People aren't lazy. They just don't have dreams that inspire them. They default to thinking, I'm a lazy person. I don't have ambitions. I don't know what I want to do in life. I'm just a loser. No, you just don't have a dream that makes you want to go off and do something. And until you figure that out, you're going to be in this constant cycle of feeling like a loser. It's one of the most common questions that I get asked on my IG streams. I go live every single day on Instagram, at least right now while I'm on my tour. And every single day I get asked some variation of, Evan, I'm lazy. How do I get out of it? Evan, I'm procrastinating. How do I get out of it? One, you don't call yourself a lazy person. There's no such thing as a lazy person. If you are procrastinating or you're being lazy, right? You are being lazy doesn't mean that you are a lazy person. There's 2 reasons why you're doing it. There's 2 reasons why you are being lazy. 1, you don't have a dream that's big enough. You don't have something that inspires you. You don't want to get out of bed in the morning. If I was an accountant, I would be a really lazy accountant. I would hate my life. Not to knock accountants, it's just not for me. If I was a video editor, I would be lazy. I would hate my life. I don't want to be a video editor. I don't want to be an accountant. Actually, there's most things in the world that I don't want to be. And if you forced me to do that, I would be lazy. That's 95% of America. I think 95% of America wakes up and drives to a job that they hate. And then they're lazy there. But they have dreams, they have ambitions, you have Michael Jordan level talent at something, you just have to find it. And so if you don't know what that thing is, then it's your duty to go off and explore. You test, you try, you see. You say yes to a lot of stuff. Like, this is the most important thing that you need to figure out in your life if you don't know what your dream is. You have to go off and try things. Just like you won't get married until you go on dates. You won't get married to an idea until you go on dates, until you try it, until you say yes. And the acid test is, did I like it? Do I want to go back? Does this fill me up? Did I enjoy the process of it? Can I see myself doing this and having fun? Because when you're having fun doing the work, that's when it will fill you up. That's when you won't be lazy. And there has been times in all your lives where you felt that, where you felt the joy, the energy, the ambition, the drive, and so you need to capture that and say yes and find what it is that your big dream is.
Rule number 20, surround yourself with good people.
You're trying to change yourself to fit into a social circle because you feel you're not good enough. You feel you're not good enough. You feel you won't be accepted otherwise. You feel you have no friends. The reality is you're different. You're weird. That's amazing. That's great. And it's never been easier to find your tribe. It's never been easier to find people who build you up, who support you, who cheer you on, and who want similar things to you. And until you find that group, you're always going to feel like an outcast. You're always going to feel like a fake. You're always going to feel like you're trying to impress people who you don't like, but what's your alternative because you have no friends otherwise? And so here's a process you can use to follow to help you be around the right people and start building the life you want. Step 1, eliminate negativity. Think about the people in your life right now who just make you feel low, who suck your energy, who you don't feel good about yourself when you're around, who just make you feel low and you don't want to be around them anymore. Maybe those are some friends that you grew up with and that they're not your friends anymore, and that's okay. I think a lot of us stay in relationships based out of convenience. Just because you went to elementary school with somebody doesn't mean that you should still be their friend now. You're just in that relationship out of convenience. You guys have grown apart and you need to accept it. If you're around negative people like that, or maybe it's your parents, then either limit your exposure to them or cut off access completely. You know, if it's a friend who's toxic, don't be around that person anymore. If it's people who make you feel less than, don't be around those people anymore. If it's your parents or it's a close friend that you still have some connection to, but there's just one thing that when you talk about makes you feel bad, don't talk about those things anymore. If you're talking to your parents and they don't like your entrepreneurial aspirations, don't talk about that stuff anymore. Put boundaries up, because there's still enough of a connection around other things, hopefully. If not, maybe you don't want to be talking to those people. But if there's enough of a connection still with your mom, with your dad, talk about that stuff and put boundaries around talking about your career, because you know it's going to cause controversy, people to get upset, and negativity. So step 1 is you need to eliminate the people or limit access to you from the people who are causing you to feel bad about you. There's no way you're going to create amazing things, build an amazing business if you're around negative people who bring you down all the time. It's just not possible. So step 1, eliminate those people or limit access. Step 2, now you've got this hole. You've got a gap in your schedule. You've got extra time now on your hands, and now what you want to do is fill it with positivity. And I see 2 paths here. 1, you want to start trying to hang out with people who feel the same way you do. And so look for entrepreneur events, look for meetup groups, look for conferences that are coming to your town. I'm here making this video in Las Vegas. At every stop along the tour that I've been doing over the past X number of days, 45 days or so, we got 45 more days ahead. It's been amazing to see the connections that people make by being in a room of other successful entrepreneurs who have the same mindset of wanting to go off and accomplish something great. Somebody just DM'd me 2 days ago of people who met in my Los Angeles event. They had never known each other before. They met at my LA event, and then they went running together. They went running and caught the sunrise together in LA. That's what I'm talking about. When you start going to events where you start meeting people who feel the same way you do, who want to build similar things as you are, it just lifts your energy so much. Like, finally, holy cow, there's other people who believe the same thing I do. I want to hang around those people more. And so say yes. Look at what events are happening in your city and go to them. Some might be free, some might be paid. Depends on what your budget is, but go to them. Start meeting people. Say yes. Be around that environment, because you're not getting that right now with your parents, your friends, the circle that's around you immediately. You need to step out and start hanging around these people and start going to events. Maybe you only meet one person at that event. That's okay. That's a start. Surround yourself with those people.
Rule number 21, find your one word.
Nobody wants to work with somebody who doesn't have integrity. But what is integrity? What does that mean for you? How do you find it? How do you know what you stand for? For me, it all comes down to values. When you understand what you stand for as a human being, when you know what your most important core value is, then you know how to live with integrity, and you know how to build a business based around integrity as well. And so the process that I go through is your one word. I wrote a book about it. You can read it, you can pick it up and understand how to apply it to your business and your life. But at the core is figuring out, if I had to stand for one thing as a human being, what is that thing? And so a quick process. Let's go through this quick exercise together. You can pick up the book later. Right now, think about 1. Who was your favorite teacher growing up?
You've had lots of teachers growing up through high school, university, elementary school. Who was your favorite teacher? It wasn't because they taught you grade 10 math. There was a reason. What was it? Who was the person and what was it? 2, what was your favorite movie growing up? Pick your favorite movie and why. And then 3, who's your favorite entrepreneur? Who's the person that you looked up to the most? Who did you learn the most from? Who do you most want to emulate? If I run through that scenario for myself, number 1, my favorite teacher is Madame Farr growing up at my school, Crescent School. She always believed in me. She always helped me. She always guided me. She helped take me from being a B student to an A+ student in my final year. She made me feel like it was possible. 2, my favorite movie is Seabiscuit. It's about this racehorse that's too small and a jockey that's too big and an owner that has no money and a trainer that's down on his luck. And they all seem to come together to build this racehorse that goes off and wins a whole bunch of races and helps lift the nation based off a true story. I've seen that movie at least 30 times. 3, my favorite entrepreneur is A.P. Giannini. He started Bank of America. He was the guy who first gave immigrants in America money as a loan. He lent money to people based off of a handshake and a look in their eye, if you can imagine. He gave Walt Disney the money to have his first feature-length cartoon. Everybody thought he was crazy. And so what's a common thread through all that? Between Madame Farr, Seabiscuit, A.P. Giannini, they may all seem totally disconnected. They're not. If I had to write down 3 characteristics, this is what you should do. You write down your 3 names, and then you have 3 characteristics for each one. The word believe pops off the sheet for me. I think about all of them, and believe comes out. Madame Farr believed in me. My other teachers are really nice. They really helped me. It was amazing, but she really helped move the needle because she believed in me. Seabiscuit, I've seen lots of movies. I love them all. It's great. But the idea of believe coming through that racehorse, I love it. It's a cheesy movie, but I love it. And then A.P. Giannini is the believe banker. Lent money to people and bet on them when nobody else believed in them. My one word is believe. As a result, I've built my entire business around it, right? My life and my business are built around believe. My videos, my newsletter, my website, my speaking gigs, the books that I write, everything I create, it's not just a strategy, it's a way of living. And that's having integrity with yourself. So why don't I make a top 10 video series on the stupidest things that people say? Because it's anti-belief, because it's negative. My channel would actually be bigger if I did the negative side of things. People would rather be entertained and laugh at others than educate themselves and get better. People would rather sit at home and watch 4 hours of Netflix every night than go off and spend 4 hours learning and try to build a business. They just would. We'd rather be entertained and educated. But I don't want to be in that business. I don't want to be in a negative business. I don't want to be in the hater business because my one word is believe. And so that's having integrity with myself and then integrity with you guys, my audience, my customers, the people that I work with. And so yes, integrity is at the core of everything. If you don't have integrity, people do not want to work with you, but how do you figure out what that means? Of course, you're not going to go lie to somebody, right? Of course, stealing is going to be bad. But what else? How do you get more specific? The biggest problem is lack of clarity. People don't know what they stand for. And as a result, you're living up to other people's expectations and versions, where I want you to live inside yourself. I want you to be standing on a rock when everybody else is standing on quicksand. You have clarity, you have definiteness of purpose. And it starts with figuring out your one word. So you can pick up the book, or you can go through that 3-step process. Think about who your favorite teacher was and why, write 3 words down for it. Think about what your favorite movie is and why, write 3 words down for it. And think about who your favorite entrepreneur or hero is of all time and why, write 3 words down from it. Look at what's similar, your one word will pop off the page, and now you know what integrity means to you.
Rule number 22, attack judgment.
People sabotage themselves because they care too much what other people think. You're spending money that you don't have on stupid things that you don't need because you value what other people think of you more than what you think of you. If you can't get out of that trap, you'll never build the life that you want. You'll just constantly be in reaction mode doing what other people expect of you. So I think you should attack judgment. I think it's good. I think whenever you feel that you were playing small because of somebody else's opinion of you, then you have to go off and do that thing. You need to attack judgment. I think it's one of the greatest skills that you can ever teach yourself, one of the greatest practices that you can do on a daily basis. I think we play small by default as humans. I think it's baked into us. I think because of our survival characteristics of how we need to fit into society to win, I think we play small by default. And so you need
need to learn to attack judgment. So here's an example. My agent Steve, I was on the phone with him and I was telling him about my new morning routine. You know, I can't do much for myself right now. I broke my neck, I broke my upper back, I had a concussion in the early days when I first fell and hit my head. And all I can do is speak, which is great for making videos, but I can't move. I couldn't put my pants on by myself. I couldn't do a lot of stuff by myself. And so my agent Steve says, you need to film your new morning routine. You need to show your audience what you're going through. You need to do an Instagram live and show us what's happening. Like, really? I'm thinking to myself, you want me to show off me putting my pants on in the morning? I'm feeling self-conscious. I've gained some weight because I haven't been able to move around. Never made a video in my underwear before. You know, all of these thoughts going through my head. And because that's part of the reason, because I'm worried about your judgment, then I have to do it. I have to do it the next day, right? Like ASAP. You have to go do the thing. Learn to attack judgment, because as long as you play small because you're worried about somebody else's opinions of you, you'll never go off and do the crazy things that you want to do. You're entrepreneurs. You want to go off and change the world. You want to do amazing things. You've got visionary ideas of things that you want to go off and do. That means you're going to attack the status quo. There's a lot of people who want to protect the status quo. A lot of people. So you're going to get judged, you're going to get attacked, you're going to get criticized because your ideas are different. You're a weird duck. Be proud of it. And so anytime you catch yourself playing small, worrying about somebody else's opinion, learn to attack it.
Rule number 23, take immediate action.
As soon as you get that idea, while you're feeling bold, while you're feeling inspired, to go off and take some kind of action. I call it the 2% difference. Don't worry about trying to get to 100%. Don't worry about planning and strategizing and figuring it out and thinking. That's what most of us do. You get an idea, you think, you start thinking, right? You plan. How do I get to that 100%? No, you've lost, because you're going to wake up tomorrow a different person, because you're going to go home today, plan, and wake up tomorrow a different person, and then not take action because you're scared. Because your brain will start talking you down from that crazy big idea. Your brain will talk you down from going off and living your truth. That's what's going to happen. That's what always happens. And so while you're feeling the energy and the momentum, you got to take some action. Instead of planning how to get to 100% of the way, you take action immediately on getting 2% of the way. 2%. The 2% difference. Go from 0 to 2%. If you can't take immediate momentum to getting 2% of the way, you will never get to 100%. You have an idea to make a YouTube channel. Great, go make a video right now, today. ASAP, the 2% difference. Make your first video right now with your cell phone. What most people will do is start researching, right? What am I going to talk about? What am I going to wear? What's my hair going to look like? What camera do I need to get? What phone do I need to get, right? What's my lighting going to be? What microphone? Think, and then never do. Because you're a perfectionist. You're going to perfect your way out of ever living your truth. The beginning is messy. It's supposed to be messy. Go off and get your 2% difference towards finding and living your truth. Quick example, my story. I'm here in Albuquerque, New Mexico right now. I was walking down a beautiful summer day last year, and I decided that I was going to take Nina to every city in North America with 1 million plus people. Every city in North America, 1 million plus people. That was my decision. Great. What's my first step? Action. The 2% difference. So it's not, here's what most people do. It's not go home and research how many cities there are. It's not go home and make a plan for how we're going to do this. There's lots of reasons why it's not going to work. Nina still had a full-time job. I had no idea how many cities there were. I had no idea what the next step was going to be. Just do something. Immediate action. And so I thought right away, 5 seconds later, here's my goal. Great. 5 seconds later, this weekend, let's hit one city. Boston. Nina had never been to Boston, so I thought Boston was the closest city to Toronto. It wasn't. Pittsburgh actually was. And on my tour, the people in Pittsburgh told me, they let me know that Pittsburgh is closer. But it doesn't matter. This weekend, we're going to go to Boston. It was a Wednesday that I decided, and on Friday night, we were leaving for Boston. Boom, I hit 2%. There's 50 cities. We're going to hit one this weekend. We're going to get 2% of the way done. On the way back from Boston, we decided to do this tour that I'm on right now. And now we're going to hit 50% of the cities on my list. Momentum. That's the thing that's missing, momentum, because you're trying to be perfect. You're trying to fully understand your truth, but you can't think your way through your truth. You have to experience it and feel it. And the starting point is a 2% difference. So take whatever idea that you have and train yourself. I want to burn this into your nervous system. This is one of the most important things you can do of all time. As soon as you get an idea, action, idea, action, idea, action. The more you can shortcut that, That window, instead of taking a week to take action or a day to take action, immediate, 5 seconds, idea, boom, some kind of 2% action, and expected not to be perfect, expected not to be the best plan. My plan was wrong, right? Pittsburgh was closer. In my head, I thought it was Boston. We went down the wrong path, but the momentum is what matters. And now we're 50% of the way. And now I'm gonna close that gap and get the rest of it, the 2% difference.
Rule number 24, endure hardships.
Being an entrepreneur is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life. Whether you go all in financially or not, you're gonna go all in emotionally. And a lot of people, they can't cut it. They can't get the calluses fast enough, and so they quit. That's gonna be one of the biggest tests for you as you get off and build your business. Do you have the mental fortitude to keep going, keep driving, keep building your business in the face of all obstacles? It's the ultimate endurance test. It's the ultimate test to see what you're made of. When I first started my company, I knew it was gonna be hard, but I didn't think it would be this hard. You never think it's gonna be as hard as it actually is. I was making $300 a month. I turned down $100,000 a year, 6 figures, working for my dream job company to make $300 a month and own 30% of a company. I eat beans for lunch every day. The same bean salad for lunch, mixed beans with olive oil and herbs and garlic and salt and a little pepper, because it was cheap and it would fill me up. And when I wanted to splurge, I would go to the store and get the chunky Campbell's soup clam chowder. It was a little bit more expensive, but would also fill me up. When we went to celebrate a win, we would go to McDonald's and get a McDonald's French fries, large fries, and share it between the 3 of us because that's what we could afford. Couldn't afford the whole meal. And even to this day, the smell of McDonald's French fries means victory for me. It's the most unhealthy thing in the world, but it still means victory for me. I made it even harder on myself in that I isolated myself and I didn't tell my friends that I was struggling. I had to pick one thing a month that I could go to, one friendly, social pizza and beer kind of thing per month. Because that $20 I didn't have, because I'm only making $300 a month. So I isolated myself, I turned inwards. I was too embarrassed and ashamed to tell my friends who are off making $80,000, $100,000 a year, starting salary at a university, and I'm making $300 a month. I was too embarrassed and ashamed. And so I told them, I'm hustling, I'm living the entrepreneur life, I'm grinding, but really, I was struggling. I had no idea what I was doing. This thing was tearing me apart. And it got to the point where I actually quit on my business partner. I told him I quit. It's easy to quit on something and not get results when you know that you're not putting in the effort. But I was putting in the effort every single day, showing up to my business partner's dining room table because everything else was too small in his place to fit us. Putting in the effort every single day, trying to build and grow this business, and it wasn't working. I felt worthless as a human. Like, why are we not getting results? When will we start to get results? And I was fed up and tired, and I told him I quit. Like, I need to find a way to be useful, to feel valuable as a human. And so I told him I quit. And then I woke up the next day and said I can't quit because I haven't given it everything that I've got. And so there's a 2-step process that saved me, that I hope will save you if you're feeling down and out and it's tough and you're not getting results. The first step is use regret to fuel you. I imagine my life at 100, looking back on this moment, saying, would I regret quitting? It's very rarely the things that you do that you regret, it's the things that you don't do. So would I regret not continuing? Would I regret not giving it my all? And I try to adopt the mantra that I would rather know and fail than not know. I would rather know and fail than not know. So I had to see this through. Even if the answer was total failure, even if it never worked out, I had to see it all the way through just to know, because otherwise that regret would eat me up. And so number 1, use regret. When you're struggling, when it's not working out, when you're not getting results, imagine yourself being 100 years old looking back and saying, if you quit now, if you stop, if you don't keep going, will you regret it? Number 2 is model success. The next thing that saved me was I asked myself that next morning after I quit and then decided I need to go back because I can't live with regret. I asked myself, who has done this before? Who has built a software company up? I can't be the only person who's tried to do this. And I looked at Bill Gates, who started Microsoft. and not how he makes an extra $1 million now, but 0 to 1. How did he do that? How did that happen? I studied his success. I modeled his success. I applied it to my company and pretty shortly got my first deal for $13,500. That may not seem like a lot of money, but to me back then, it was hitting the lottery. I'm making $300 a month. Now I just made a deal for $13,500. That was hope. That was real. That was putting money in my bank account. That was being able to have a full meal at McDonald's. And more important, it gave me a model that I could do again and again and again. I closed another deal and another deal and another deal. And our business started to take off. And ever since, that was 20 years ago, I used the same 2-step process.
Rule number 25, Rule number 25, do the difficult things.
You need to do things that make you feel proud. When things get difficult, most people will find really smart ways to talk themselves down from doing difficult things. And the smarter you are, the better excuse/reason you have to not to do the thing. But until you own up and go after and chase down difficult things, you'll never be proud of yourself and you'll never accomplish the big goals you have for yourself. So I'm here on my tour. I committed to doing 90 days, 23 cities, a new city basically every 4 days. And I broke my neck 2 weeks ago. I broke my neck in Denver and I had to cancel my Denver event because it was in the hospital. But then I got up and I did a short version of my Kansas City event. And then I got up and did a full version of a Minnesota event. And then I got up and did a full version of my Milwaukee event here last night. I want to do work that makes you feel proud. It's difficult. It's hard. Everybody would have understood if I canceled. Right? If I said, guys, sorry, I broke my neck, broke my back, have a concussion, 3 staples in my head, I can't keep going, everybody would have understood. But I wouldn't have felt proud. And that needs to be your asset test. It's not what other people think about you. It's not when other people let you off the hook. It's not when other people think that you're great. It's what do you think about yourself? Are you proud of the decisions that you make in your life?
Rule number 26, stop comparing to others.
You're constantly comparing your version of success, your version of life, compared to what you see out there, other people's versions. You're looking at what they're doing on Instagram and YouTube and social media and in the tabloids and you're looking at those people and you say, that's the life that I want. Because you have no confidence in your own version of your life. That's the problem. That's what you need to fix. I often get asked on my tour, hey Evan, what's the perfect morning routine? Like, what do you do every morning to get yourself started? What I do almost doesn't matter. Stop comparing yourself to me. We have different versions of what success and balance look like. I look at what The Rock does, for example. He needs to work out for 4 hours a day. He needs to do cardio twice, he needs to do weights twice. When he has to be on a movie set by 9 a.m., he wakes up at 4, goes and works out for 4 hours, comes back, showers, and then goes to his set. And when he's shooting a movie, he'll sleep 5 hours a night. I think that's crazy. I don't look like The Rock. There's a reason. We have different priorities, different version of balance. But this is the problem. Because you want to work like The Rock and you want to be a good dad like this person and you want to be a good entrepreneur like this person, a visionary like this person. And you're constantly judging your version of your life versus somebody else's. It's unobtainable. It's not possible because there's no self-confidence in what you already have. It doesn't matter what I do in the morning. It doesn't matter what The Rock does in the morning. What matters is you start your day with the thing that makes you come alive. If you started your day with the thing that made you feel bold and self-confident every single day, your life would look dramatically different 1 year from today than where you are right now. It just would. But what that thing is different for everybody. We have different goals. We have different things that drive and move us. And so it starts with having the self-awareness to figure out what it is that you want. And then the self-confidence to believe in it enough that when you see something shiny over here, you're not swayed by it and think that you suck because this person's crushing it in a different field.
Rule number 27, bring value.
I think most people are confused about money. Most people don't have a healthy relationship with money. There are the people who think that money is everything, that money is the only important thing in the world and you need to chase it down and it's your duty and responsibility and obligation. It's like, it's number one. The person walking into my house or my place of business, that's my next suit, that's my next payment, that's my next whatever. It's only focused on money. And there's other people who think money is the root of all evil and that money is a bad thing. Money is a tool. Money helps you get a lot of things done. Money helps you go places. Money helps you accomplish your mission. Money needs to be in your top 5. It's just not number 1. Money needs to be in your top 5. If money does not become important at some point to you, if it's not in your top 5 priorities, you'll never make money and you'll always be by yourself, struggling, trying to figure out how to make something work. But it's not number 1 either. If you put money above all else, you'll end up doing a lot of work that you hate and you never get good at it just because you're chasing opportunities. This is a big reason why so many entrepreneurs fail. You're just chasing the hottest thing for this year that you don't have a passion or interest in, and then you lose because the people who love that destroy you. When I first started doing this, helping entrepreneurs, I never thought I was gonna make money. My first speaking gig, my first option to help people was in Canada, in my hometown of Toronto, was at a YMCA. It was a free event. They had an entrepreneurship program and they asked me to come and speak to their members. It was free. I wasn't getting paid to do it, just wanted to help out. I just sold my business, I wanted to give back. I was saying yes to everything. I actually didn't even know what I wanted to do next. And so I show up, and it's this big room full of chairs, and only 3 people show up to that first event. Only 3 people. And as soon as I walked in the room and I saw 3 people, my heart sank. I felt like I'm never gonna be able to make anything from this. If only 3 people show up to a free event, how am I ever gonna make money from it? I didn't know. But I gave my best to those 3 people. I know that I helped those 3 people and had an impact on their lives. We then went for coffee afterwards and continued the conversation. I know that I helped them and it filled my soul, and I had to find a way to keep doing it. I knew I had to find a way to keep doing it, even if I never made money. And so I did. I kept doing speaking gigs. I did my website. I did my YouTube channel. And slowly, it started to come in. As I figured out the second key important piece, which is figuring out how to bring value to other people. When you find something that you love doing and you combine it with how it brings value to other people, that's when you start making money. If it's something that you just love doing, but nobody else likes it, there's 0 value to anybody else, you have a hobby. You have a hobby. If you're only chasing stuff that people like and need, but you don't like doing it, you're never gonna get great at it. You might make a little bit of money, but you're never gonna get great at it. You're never gonna be all time. You're never gonna build a huge business. And so it's that combination of doing work that you love doing and mix it with where there's an opportunity that people need. It's a problem that you are solving. Mix those things together. You have a super successful business.
Rule number 28, start small.
Entrepreneurs don't have to be giant risk takers. Some entrepreneurs have to go all in. It's the only way they can operate. Burn the boats, have no plan B, have no escape, no parachute, all in. One-way trip. It's the only way they operate. But there's tons of successful entrepreneurs who win by building sustained momentum, by taking small, successful risks over and over again, but never putting it all on the line. I love small starts. I love finding ways to get started on tons of different ideas and seeing what sticks and where my heart lies and following those through. But I'll never put in tons of money before putting in the effort and energy to see if I love it, to try to get results. So I look at YouTube as an example. It's 10 years of having this channel. It's wild, it's crazy. I started it just as an experiment. I had a successful website. I had 8 people on my team building up this new web business that I was a part of. And I just wanted to try YouTube. I wanted to make visual content. I love learning from successful people. And so I wanted to tell those stories in a visual way. That plus people kept asking me questions. I'd sold my company. And so they asked me questions. Evan, how do I do this? How do I do that? Great. So I would make videos answering questions for people. But I did it all myself, right? Like I got some friends to volunteer to help me make some of my early videos. And then everything was me. I had money, I sold my business. I had a team working on my website, but I was doing this little skunk works project all by myself. Just to go, just make it happen, just to see if I like it, see if I can build some momentum. And so I researched and I edited and I filmed, I did everything. And as it started then to make some money, then I could invest that money back into my business. And then it slowly built up to the point where we're at right now.
Rule number 29, be the chief goal officer.
You need to be people's chief goal officer. If you want to move them into action, if you want them to win, you have to speak to them in their language and the things that they care about. The worst advice you could give somebody is what you would do. If you treat everybody who works with you and for you like the way you would be treated, you're going to lose forever. You're never going to build the organization you want because people have different goals and it's your job to understand what they are. So I'm doing this tour right now, 90 days, 23 cities. I often get asked by people, hey Evan, what book should I read? What video do you recommend from your channel for an entrepreneur? I've done 6,000 videos. The worst advice I could give is to give a generic answer. The worst advice I could give is to one that I would watch. Like, here's a video that I love the most. For me to give a good answer to you, I need to know your problem. I need to be your chief goal officer. I need to understand what you're struggling with. I could give you the greatest book recommendation of all time, but if it's not the thing that you care about right now, it's not going to serve you. And so before you give advice, before you try to help somebody else out, be their chief goal officer. There's two ways to do it. Understand their who and understand their why. Their who is their most important one-word core value, and their why is their purpose, and their purpose comes from their pain. So look at their who. I'll use an example with Alex, who runs Toronto Dance Salsa for me. His who is belong. His one word is belong. He wants to create a place where people feel like they belong. It's the one word for him, it's a one word for TDS. I know that's what he really cares about. For me, belonging doesn't really matter. If I don't feel like I belong in a room, I'm not bothered by it. I don't care what other people think of me. It's so low down on my list of priorities and values of what I personally care about. But for him, it's number one. He wants to make people feel like they belong. That's his one word, most important core value. That's his who. So I understand a little bit more about him. I understand how to push him. The next is your why. Your purpose comes from your pain. For him, he struggled so much in making friends and feeling accepted. He had super sweaty hands, and when he held a girl's hand, he would slide out because he sweat so much, and it tied into him never feeling like he belonged. And so this is now his purpose for life, is to help other people feel like they belong, that there's a space for them to come to and feel like they belong. His favorite movie of all time is Hercules, the Disney movie, the cartoon, where in that song they says something about a place where you belong. And when he hears that song, he cries. Great, this is Alex, right? I might play that song for myself and think, that's a good song. I might play that song for somebody else and they hate that song. Screw Hercules, amazing. Everybody's different. You need to be their chief goal officer. So if I'm talking to Alex and trying to motivate and push him and have him build an amazing company that he's proud of, I'm gonna use words like belong. I'm gonna use movie references like Hercules. I'm gonna talk about creating a place where people can come together and feel like they're finally accepted, because that's at the core of what he's all about. That's me being his chief goal officer. And so you need to do that for everybody on your team. You need to do that for every customer that you work with. Stop treating everybody the same way. There's the classic rule of do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and that's great, and that's treating people with compassion and care and kindness. But everybody's motivated by different things. And if you can only treat people one way, the way that you would like to be treated, you're gonna only have success with a very narrow band of people. A very narrow band of customers, a very narrow band of employees, a very narrow band of partners. You're gonna stay in this tiny little lane your entire life and never build a huge company. But if you can learn to be somebody's chief goal officer, if you can learn to understand what drives them, moves them, pushes them, what their who is, what their why is, why they're here, what they're trying to accomplish, you start building an 8-lane superhighway, and you can build a company that can take over the world.
Rule number 30, enjoy the process.
I much more want to enjoy the process of the work that I'm doing than getting the end result. When I made my YouTube channel and we hit 1 million subscribers, everybody was asking me, what's the celebration? What are you guys gonna do? What's the plan? I don't know. I didn't need to celebrate. We ended up doing a live stream because I wanted to celebrate with you guys because it was important for you. But for me, I don't care to celebrate. Like, let's keep going. This is the celebration. Making these videos is the celebration. Not getting the plaque, not crossing 1 million, not XYZ. I mean, results matter, of course, but the process, enjoying the process and doing difficult things is how I get myself to take action, not visualizing the end result.
Rule number 31, love the struggle.
You need to learn to love struggle. You need to learn to tell yourself that the struggle is the best. Because if you're not chasing down difficult things, you're living a life so safe, so inside your comfort zone that you're never happy. I had a woman come out to my event last night here in Milwaukee, and I gave her some advice on how to build her business, and she said, wow, that sounds so hard. Yeah, teach yourself that you're the kind of person who does hard things. I love hacks, I love shortcuts, I love optimizing, I love it. It's amazing, it's the best. And I love doing difficult things. Otherwise, You stay inside your comfort zone and you only do the things that you feel safe to do. And then you hate your life. If you're not pushing up against your comfort zone, if you're not stretching further, if you're not going into the struggle, you hate your life. The people who are the most fulfilled are the ones who are off, pushing the envelope, doing difficult things. I look at this, I broke my neck in Denver, right? I broke my neck. I continued to tour. We still had, 5 or 6 more stops that we had to make, almost a month of touring. You still had to go off and do the tour. I canceled 1 stop, then I did a short version in Kansas City, and then I did all the way through. We're still going, full 3 hours. I had to still make videos, right? Videos still have to go up. Last week, I was still suffering from a concussion. So I hit my head on a baseboard, cut my head open, had 3 staples in the back of my head, broke my neck, broke my upper back, got a concussion. Still gotta make videos, right? I still have to make videos. I love it. Because it's in the difficult times that you show yourself what you're made of. When it's easy and you win, you don't care. If you win a race against 3-year-olds, who cares? But if you go up and race against Usain Bolt and he beats you backwards on 1 leg, you're still pumped because you got in the race against Usain Bolt. The self-pride, the self-respect, the confidence, the growth comes from doing things that you struggle with, not from always doing the easy thing. You hate your life if you're just doing the easy thing.
Rule number 32, help your customers.
I think you need to be your customer's chief goal officer. I think if you want to win in business, you have to understand your customers. You become their chief goal officer. If you want to accomplish your goals, the best way to get there is help your customers accomplish their goals. If you're helping them, you're solving problems, guess what? You're going to make money. They're going to pay you to do it. Now you have to combine what they want, right? You're the chief goal officer. This is what they want, and combine it with what you love doing. Can you help them solve that problem? Are you the person to solve it, or do you want to refer somebody else off to them to solve that problem? When you can mix those things together, the thing you absolutely love doing with what the customer so desperately wants, that's when you start to win.
Rule number 33, don't chase money.
Chasing money makes you do stupid things. Money is important. It has to be in your top 5. It just can't be number 1. Your heroes, the people that you look up to, the people that you want to be like, the ones who went off and changed the world and made a lot of money in the process, they had a mission. Money was not number 1 for them. Look at whoever you look up to, respect, love, admire. Your heroes, understand them, look at their story. Money's in their top 5, but it's not number 1. And so when you go up against somebody like that, when you go up against somebody who's chasing down their purpose, and you're coming into the industry because you think it's a hot opportunity for this year, they're gonna crush you. You will always get crushed by the person who loves the thing if for you, it's just an opportunity. And so that's why chasing money makes you do stupid things. You get into an industry because you think it's gonna be a hot chance for you, but you're gonna lose because you don't love it. The people who love it will always win, and so it's much better for you to go off and chase down something you love and make money in the process of doing that thing. It's why the number 1 rule for success that comes up the most consistently across all the people that I profiled, across all different kinds of industries and backgrounds, is you have to love what you do.
Rule number 34, be patient with the results.
You're not in a big enough hurry because you don't view patience and impatience properly. You were trained and conditioned with a perspective that does not serve you. Today, we're gonna break that. We're gonna set you free so you can start hitting your goals a lot faster. Most people are patient with themselves, but impatient with the results. I'll say that again. You're patient with yourself, but you're impatient with the results. You want the results to happen right away. You're impatient. Like, when am I gonna get these results? But you're patient with yourself. You'll give yourself a break. You'll let yourself down. Like, I'll do that tomorrow. You're patient with yourself, but you're impatient with the results. I want you to flip it. This is the perspective shift that if you understand and make in your business, your entire life will change. You need to flip it. You want to be patient with the results and impatient with yourself. You want to be patient with the results and impatient with yourself. Know that the results that you're after will take time. You're chasing down big goals. You're an entrepreneur. You want to do amazing things. It's going to take some time for that to happen. But the impatience you need to put on a daily basis is on yourself. Did you do the most that you can do today and every single day to move a little bit closer to achieving your goals? So look at my business as an example. My next goal is to hit 10 million subscribers on my main YouTube channel. That's a big goal. It's gonna take me a while to get there, right? It's not gonna happen tomorrow. No matter how much work I put in, no matter what I do, it's not happening tomorrow. It's gonna take some time. I get that. I'm patient with that. And I'm insanely impatient with myself. It's like, what can I do more today to get me closer to that goal?
Rule number 35, find your core values.
If you don't get this right, your business will fail. It's not just about what you love doing and the skill sets you have, it's about having similar core values as the people that you bring on board. You need to know what your who is. You need to know what you stand for as a human being. You need to know what your mission is and bring people on board who have similar core values. This is where so many entrepreneurs fail. If you only do a self-assessment and say, well, I'm great at this. I'm gonna be the technician. I'm gonna be the artist. I'm gonna be the coder. I'm gonna be the one doing all of the actual work. And I need to partner up with somebody who's a business person, who's gonna be doing the deals and the media and raising the capital and talking to investors and doing the sales pitches. It's not enough to say, well, I'm good at this and you're good at this, so let's get together. And that's what so many people do. That's why so many business partnerships fail, because you're just looking at it on paper. You're just saying, well, they have the skill sets I don't have, great, let's work together, boom, we're in business. And oftentimes entrepreneurs will then say, hey, well, let's do 50-50, right? You're bringing this, I'm bringing this, so here we go, 50-50 partnership. And for those who've been through it before, you know how much of a disaster that can be. Because everything looks good on paper, but you can't make a decision just based off of paper. It's like going to a dating website and putting in your ideal person and then deciding to marry that person without ever going on a date. It's about core values. Why do things fall apart? Because you don't share the same core values. And a lot of times you don't even know what your own core value is to start with. So you figure out your one word. Your most important core value, that's the starting point. You have to figure it out. I mean, it'll serve you not just for your business, but for any relationship, for life. This is what you stand for as a human. And then you want to attract people who not just have the skill set and the desire, but the same core value. Because you know what? The skill set is actually easier to teach than the core value. To make somebody change their beliefs, I don't know how to do it. It's crazy, it's ridiculous. To give somebody a new skill set is way easier to teach.
Rule number 36, chase the yes, hell decisions. No, hell yes. God damn it! Hold on. Rule number 36, chase the hell yes decisions.
You spend too much time focused on the small decisions that don't actually move your business forward instead of focusing on the ones that you actually get pumped for. So I look at my business, I look at my YouTube channel. My goal right now is I want to get 10 million subscribers on my main YouTube channel. I'm excited, I'm pumped, let's go do it. I'm chasing it down, and I've got a list of ideas, a giant list of ideas. And as people watch my videos and I talk to my friends about it, they give me more ideas. And the list just keeps building. Is this something that you can resonate with? That list of ideas just keeps growing and growing and growing. I keep it in Evernote. I don't know where you write down your ideas. The problem is most of those ideas, they could be fantastic strategic ideas that just makes total logical sense to do those things. But I look at them and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, meh, it's okay. Yeah, that's good. We should do that. Yeah. If you're not emotionally attached to it, you won't have massive success doing it. It has to be a hell yes. And so when my tour came along, the idea of doing a 23 city, 90-day tour, I don't have time for it. Logically, it makes no sense. I don't have time to do this. It's crazy. Look at this giant list of ideas I have to do. Hell yes, I want to do that. And off we go. 23 cities, 90 days. I just got back. Hey, back in my entrepreneur land setting here. For those of you who are OG for my channel, you have to chase the hell yes decisions and stop getting stuck in the meh and okay land.
Rule number 37, be strategic.
I think people should quit way more than they actually do. You stayed in a business for too long. You stayed with an employee for too long. You stayed in a relationship for too long. You should have quit on them years ago. But because you've tied your self-worth to winning, your pride prevents you from quitting. Staying in something, even if you hate your life, just staying in it means that you don't have to admit to yourself that you're a quitter. And so you stay, but you're actually losing.
In my first business, was a software company, I struggled with this. I was 19, I thought I was gonna make it rich and be a super successful entrepreneur, and I sucked and I struggled and I was making $300 a month and I didn't know what to do. I was too embarrassed to tell my friends that I had no money and I couldn't go out with them, and that the 20 bucks for pizza and beer was too expensive for me. And it took me to a rock bottom moment until I could actually be strategic and realize that I needed to change. What happened was I told my partner that I quit. We were working long hours, like this was my entire life, working on this business, crazy hours and just not getting results. And so I finally had enough. I felt like a worthless human being, and I called my business partner and said, I'm out. Like I have to go do something where I feel like I can contribute to the world somehow. And so I told him I quit, and then I hung up the phone and I cried. I cried my face off. And I woke up the next day and said, I can't quit on this yet because I would regret it if I did. But I have to find another way to stand. Like this is taking too much out of me. And so I asked myself who had done this, who had built a software company before. And I looked at Bill Gates and how he started Microsoft. And I used his strategies to help my company grow. And then we started to win. Then we started to make money and started to get some customers and clients, and eventually sold my business. But I almost didn't come back to it. If I hadn't been strategic in that moment and said, okay, I can't quit because I'm gonna regret this decision for the rest of my life, if I didn't step out of that emotional zone just for a few seconds to realize I need to keep going and look at who had done this before, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Rule number 38, have a cause.
Having a cause will make you feel like a superhero. It'll allow you to do things you never thought you'd do and give you the courage you never thought you'd have. All of your heroes had a cause, and if you want to stop selling sugar water and change the world, it's time to find yours. I love the Steve Jobs story. I'm a huge fan of Steve. I have his poster on my wall as one of 5 people that I look up to on a daily basis. But one of the things that I really find most valuable about having a cause is it can allow you to have the courage to be the evangelical person, even if it's not naturally who you are. I look at Steve Jobs and I see someone who is naturally talented, who's a great salesperson, who has the gift of gab, who loves being in the spotlight, who is that person who likes being up front and center. And so it's easy to go off and be that person. Now you combine that with a cause and you get a company like Apple. But having a cause can make you evangelical even if you are introvert and shy and don't like the spotlight. I know because I'm talking about myself. I am an introvert. I don't like talking to people. I don't talk to the person next to me on the airplane. Being in front of the camera makes me nervous. Being in front of a giant audience makes me shy. I'd much rather be at the back of a room than be the center of attention. One of the things I used to fight the most with my agent about was he would say that, Evan, you don't want to be famous. That's a problem. Like, yeah, I don't want to be famous. It's not about me, it's about the cause. And recently it started to sink in that by me becoming more famous, I could spread the message more. But it's one of the biggest things that we kept fighting over because I don't crave the limelight where a lot of people, they absolutely have to have it. But when you have a cause, it forces you to the front. I make videos because I want to help entrepreneurs. I make videos because I struggled so much. Your purpose comes from your pain. I struggled so much in starting my business. I want to make the path a little bit easier for the next generation of people coming through. I'm making videos and content and speeches for the 19-year-old version of myself that needed to hear this stuff. And so I feel it's my responsibility, it's my obligation, I have to do it. And it forces me out into stages that normally I would say, you're crazy. I'm on this tour right now, right? I gave up a quarter of my year, 90 days, to hit 23 cities and do the thing that I'm most afraid to do, which is get up and potentially disappoint people every 4 days by doing another event. And I kept going even though I broke my neck. I broke my neck 3 weeks ago in Denver. And we kept going. I only canceled one event completely. And I just got up and kept going. And so having that cause, feeling like the work that you do is important and meaningful is the whole thing.
Rule number 39, do what makes you proud.
The problem is you're not proud of yourself. You might post about some accomplishment you've done on Facebook or Instagram, but when it's you, by yourself, all alone, deep down, you're not actually proud of yourself. So why? Where does that come from? It's because you've taught yourself that you set goals and you don't consistently follow through. So now when you set a new goal for yourself, you don't believe that you're actually going to follow through. And that continues to cycle on and spirals down into you not being proud of yourself. We need to change that today. So it starts with this. When you set a goal, you have to follow through. The only acceptable reason for not following through is you being proud of yourself. Are you proud of the reason why you didn't follow through? So a couple examples. When I started my tour, the very first stop, the pre-tour stop was Boston. I had a goal at that time that I was gonna run 30 minutes of cardio every day. We drove to Boston, I drove the whole way, didn't sleep a wink, got in at 2 in the morning. I hadn't done my cardio. What do I need to do? I need to do my cardio. Why? Because I told myself I committed to doing 30 minutes of cardio every single day. The cardio was the worst cardio of all time. Barely moving, right? Just kind of half eyes closed, trying to struggle my way through the 30 minutes. Health-wise, I burnt 0 calories. It would have been better for me to go to sleep. Mentally though, for the mindset, I'm pumped. It's when it's hard and you do the thing that you actually build your self-respect, your self-pride, your self-love, your self-confidence. When it's easy and you win, you could post about it on Instagram, congratulations, but you don't feel great about yourself because it was easy. But when it's hard and you try, that's when you start building self-respect, self-accountability, self-pride. That's where it comes from. And so in Boston, I woke up the next day and I was tired and I had a sluggish, hard day trying to get through it, which was not great for my body. But mentally, I'm pumped, like I did the thing when it was difficult. If I just went to bed, I would have had to ask myself, am I proud of the reason why I'm not doing this? Other people would let me off the hook. I'm sure the people I went down with, Nina, my wife, Danny, my camera guy, would have said, it's okay, go to sleep. It's 2 in the morning. You drove all this way. It's a strange day. It's not a typical day. You have every reason in the world not to do it. People will let you off the hook all the time because they don't hold themselves to high standards. And then they infect you with their lower standards. I would not have been proud of myself if I didn't do my run, even though the results sucked. It's the effort. That's where the pride comes from.
Rule number 40, just be yourself.
Just be yourself is one of the most common pieces of advice that you hear from successful people. Just be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Just be yourself. You're a unique snowflake. Yes, amazing, but how? How do I do it? How do I find it? And once I find it, how do I have the confidence to actually live it? How? Give me the how. You're in luck. I'm gonna give you the 3-step process on how to actually find out who you are and have the confidence to live it. We're gonna go through 3 steps: who, why, how. Your who, your why, your how. You figure that out, you're set up for life. It's one of the most powerful exercises you will ever do in your life. Let's dig in. Number 1, your who. Your who is your one word, most important core value. What is your single most important core value? Mine is belief. When you understand what you're saying for, you're less likely to be pulled in other people's directions. So quick tips on how to find it. What's your favorite movie of all time? Mine is Seabiscuit. It's about this horse that's too small and a jockey too big and an owner that has no money, and they find each other and they start winning a whole bunch of races, right? What's your favorite song of all time? Who's your favorite teacher of all time and why? And if you look at all these things that you have loved, it wasn't because Mrs. Jones taught you math in grade 8. It's because of a characteristic. There's a common thread between all the things that you love that make you happy. That's your one word. That's your most important core value. When you figure that out, now you can live a life on purpose and bring those things to you. So for me, believe, I'm not gonna make a video that's trashing somebody. I'm not gonna make a top 10 stupidest things that this person ever said, even though it might make me more money, even though it might bring me more subscribers, even though it might get me more attention. I don't wanna do it because it's anti-belief. And knowing that, knowing what I stand for, then makes it easy to put that shield up to say, no, I don't care about your opinion. I don't care that you think I should go do that thing. I know what I stand for. It gives you a rock to stand on where most people are standing on quicksand. Figure out your who. Step 2 is figure out your why. That's your purpose. Your purpose comes from your pain. Think about the most painful moment in your life. Your purpose for life will be to help other people who are currently experiencing that pain. To find somebody who is going through the thing that caused you the most pain in your life will lift you up and give you so much joy, I can't explain it. And your who and your why, your one word and your purpose are for life. So for me, my why, my purpose is helping entrepreneurs because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur, because I turned down huge jobs to make $300 a month and earn 30% of a company. And I hated my life. Like I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't giving any value. It sucked. I eventually made it through, and I want to help entrepreneurs because I remember struggling so much as an entrepreneur.
I don't want other people to have to struggle the same way that I struggled. And so my one word is believe. I could believe in anybody. I could believe in lots of people. Everybody needs believing in. But I love helping entrepreneurs more because that's where I came from, because that was my biggest struggle. It's my biggest pain. And so think about your most painful moment of all time. Helping the people who are currently experiencing the thing that you went through is going to be the thing that will fill you up for life. Your who and your why are for life. They will never change. They're with you for life. And so it's worth going through that thought experiment to find it. Because most of America has no idea what they stand for and what their purpose is. Step 3 is your how. Now it's figuring out, how did you get through the thing that you went through, right? I struggled as an entrepreneur. The thing that saved my business was modeling Bill Gates. How did Bill Gates build a software company? That's what I had. I had a software company. I wasn't working. I copied Bill Gates' strategies, applied it to my business, had my first sale shortly after for $13,500. It may not seem like a lot of money, but for me, it was money. It was money. It was bank. Like, holy cow, something's actually working. And so ever since then, that was when I was 19, 20 years old. Ever since then, whenever I don't know what to do, I model success. I model Bill Gates' success and put that to my company. I had success. And so what have I done for the past 20 years? Made content, made videos. Look at my channel, profiling different successful entrepreneurs to model their success. The path that I use to get out of the hole is the path that then I teach. The path that you use to get out of the hole that you're in becomes the path that you teach. It's a system. It's replicatable. You can teach other people how to do it, because a lot of the people who are struggling with the thing that you struggled with, they never find their way out. You can help them by showing them the path that you took. And so your who, your why, your how. When you figure that out, that's how you are yourself. And now you've got this amazing rock to stand on. When other people think you should go do something else, you don't care. It doesn't hit you. It bounces off you because you're confident in yourself. And so yes, be yourself. And it's gonna come up over and over and over and over again. Look at the top 10s, look at the espressos, look at all the videos, look at the interviews, look at the people that you look up to. They're all gonna say, just be yourself. But how? This is the process. Figure out your who, figure out your why, figure out your how. Go through those 3 steps and you're set up for life. And I'm so pumped to see the journey that you go on.
Rule number 41, take risks.
Most people are so afraid of losing that they don't even try. You'd rather stay average because going for greatness means you might fail. Adopt this mindset. It's better to know and to fail than not to know. All of your heroes failed on their path to success, and if you are unwilling to risk failure for greatness, you will stay on your exact same path that you're on right now. So I was recently faced with an impossible choice where I didn't know the outcome, where 2 people who I respected told me opposite bits of advice, and it was around splitting up my YouTube channel. I have had my YouTube channel, my main one, for over 10 years. It's crazy, 10 years of creating content. I got up to making 3 videos a day on my main channel. I get on a call with Matt Geelan, who's one of 4 people in the world who, if they gave me advice on YouTube, I would really strongly, deeply think about it. I respect him and 3 other people that much. And he told me, Evan, you need to split up your channel. Evan, doing 3 videos a day on the same channel hurts you, and you should split it up into multiple channels. That was an impossible choice. I mean, for me, it was scary, it was difficult. I don't know the outcome. So I asked some other friends of mine, somebody else in the top 4, and he says that is the biggest mistake you could make. Don't do it. It's a huge mistake for your channel. It'll hold you back. So now what do? There's 4 people in the world whose opinions I respect and trust on this one topic, and 2 of them are giving me exact opposite advice. What do? For me, the decision was easy. The action was difficult. It was tough, but we do tough things, right? We're entrepreneurs. Here's my decision-making process. I would rather know and fail than not know. Going my current course of making 3 videos a day on one channel, I know what that looks like. I'm liking my success, I'm liking my growth, but splitting up my channels and going down to 1 video a day on my main channel, I didn't know if that would work. And if I don't try, I'll never know. So even though one person I really respect tells me it's the biggest mistake of my life, it may be. It may be the worst decision that I ever make in my YouTube career, but I won't know unless I try. And I would rather live my life without regrets, knowing that I got the information instead of being afraid to act. And so I split it up. And listen, right now, it's actually not working. Right now, the views on my main channel are down. The subscribers on my main channel are down. The amount of money I make from my main channel is down. And my other channels like this one haven't grown enough to combat it, to replace it. But I'm still soldiering on. I'm still continuing down this path. Now, if it's a year and it's still the same thing, okay, maybe I have to go back to my old strategy, but at least I would know. And so you can look at that and say, well, you lost all that opportunity. Yeah, I made a mistake, but I would rather know and fail than not know. Because if you only take safe bets, if you only take the bets that you know you're gonna win at with 100% certainty, then you play small for life. Then you're only gonna take on the projects that there's zero risk of failure at, which means you stay in this tiny circle. I don't wanna live in a tiny circle. I wanna change the world. I wanna have a huge impact that comes with a great deal of failure, just like all your heroes.
Rule number 42, be impatient with yourself.
You need to be more impatient with yourself, but patient with the results. Flip it. Most people are impatient with the results. You want the money right now. You want the customers right now. You want the views right now. You want the subscribers right now. But you're patient with yourself. You let yourself off the hook all the time. You procrastinate and don't put in 100% effort. That needs to change. Flip it. Be more patient with the results and impatient with yourself. Because if you're impatient with yourself, if you demand 100% effort of yourself every single day, I guarantee you the results will come.
Rule number 43, act now.
The decisions that you make when you're feeling bold are actually the right ones for you, and your head starts talking you down from doing them. When you're feeling bold, unstoppable, confident, powerful, and you make a decision, you make a choice, you say, I'm gonna go off and do this thing, that is actually the best thing that you need to go off and do. You have to listen to it. You have to take that jump. Otherwise, you will still be in the same spot you are currently in right now, 5 years from today. So I just came back from doing a tour, 90-day tour, 23 different cities. It all started because I was walking down the street on a warm summer day last year, and I decided I'm gonna take Nina, my wife, to every city in North America with 1 million plus people. Crazy goal, right? My next evolution, the next leap, the next jump. Every city in North America with my wife, let's go. And then your head gets in the way. Then your head starts thinking, whoa, how many cities are there? How do we plan for this? Nina has a full-time job. How are we gonna make it all work? What's the timeline gonna be? Your default first step needs to be action instead of thinking. What most of us will do as soon as you come with an idea is you go home and you think, and you plan and you ponder and you strategize and you think, and you use all of your creative, bold, confident energy into planning. The problem is you wake up the next day a different person. You wake up the next day thinking, I can't do that. I can't go to every city in North America with 1 million plus people. I can't do this. I can't do that. You come up with all the reasons that are logical, that are practical as to why you can no longer do that thing. You were feeling bold and confident yesterday, but today you can't do it. That's why your default first step needs to be action. Use that bold, creative, powerful energy into action, into committing yourself to doing something and taking what I call the first 2%. The 2% difference. That means don't go home and plan your way to hitting 100% of your goal. Immediately take the first 2% action to move a tiny bit closer to your goal. And so I said, I'm gonna take my wife, Nina, every city in North America, 1 million plus people. Great. What's my first step? Not researching how many cities, not trying to figure out how Nina's gonna quit her job, not any of that stuff, not planning, not strategizing. It's this weekend, we're gonna go to Boston. Because I knew Boston had 1 million plus people and I knew Nina hadn't been there yet. So we're gonna go to Boston. It was actually the wrong plan. It wasn't the closest city. I thought it was the closest city, but there's multiple cities that are closer. But the imperfect plan that you act on is better than the perfect plan that you sit on and never do anything about. And so we went to Boston that weekend. It was a Wednesday afternoon. I decided by Friday night we were leaving and driving to Boston. Action. This is the thing that most people are missing. You don't have enough action. The 2% difference. Stop planning to 100%. And figure out what the smallest possible, simplest version of doing that thing is right now, immediately, today.
Rule number 44, don't take no for an answer.
Swap your no's for not yets. No is so final. No means it's over. There's no path back, right? It's a no, it's final, it's over. Finish line, we're done, right? Not yet means there's still hope. there's still a path. And I think for any entrepreneur, part of what we're doing is so visionary, it's so different, it's so new. There's gonna be a lot of people who don't agree with what you're doing because you're challenging the status quo, because you're trying to do something that hasn't been done before. And there's a lot of people who like the way that it's happening right now. And so most people make decisions from their brain, just the logical, practical side of their brain. Where entrepreneurs, what we do best is we make decisions from our heart. And so the brain can only imagine a world that currently exists, right? It's logical, it's practical, it's what currently exists. Where your heart can create something brand new that hasn't existed yet before, yet. And so you got to turn the nose. When somebody says no, it's not going to happen. You're never going to make it. You're not good enough. You don't have the resources. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the connections. You don't come from the right family. You're not born in the right country, right? Whatever that no is, just turn it into not yet. Just wait. Just watch me. I'm coming.
Rule number 45, rise above pain.
If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you're going to have to deal with a lot of pain. There will be a moment when you feel like things just can't get any worse. You're at the bottom, and then pow, life hits you in the face, and that moment will define you. Either you're gonna quit and give up, go back to having a job, or you're gonna learn to rise above and start having success as an entrepreneur. The strategy that I like to use is, it's the best. You take whatever negative situation you're in, whatever that thing that feels overwhelming, all-consuming, impossible to deal with, and you tell yourself, this is the best. This thing's happening to me right now is the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world what I'm made of. It's the best. And in actuality, it is the best because we very rarely get chances to show ourselves what we're made of. We very rarely actually put ourselves into these situations where we get hit in the face.
Rule number 46, make products that you love.
Making a product that people love starts with you making something that you love. Really, think about it. Would you buy from you? Would you subscribe to you? Would you comment and tell your friends about you? In our rush to get rich, to make money, we push products out that we don't love, and if you don't love them, people around you won't love them either. So look at my YouTube channel as an example. I love my YouTube channel. I make my YouTube channel for myself. I learn. It's selfish. It's for me. The top 10 rules videos, the espresso videos, the content that I bring together, I need it. It's my education. I love my channel. I would share my channel with other people. If I saw my channel and I wasn't creating, it'd be the first thing that I subscribe to. It would be much watched YouTube for me. I need it. And if you guys didn't like it, I would still create it for myself. It wouldn't have as much editing and fancy effects and all that stuff, but I would still do it because I need it for me. I make it for myself selfishly, and then I share it with you guys, and thankfully you guys like it enough that I can turn a business from it and continue to hire a team and create more content and pump more stuff out. But as much as I think that my channel still needs to get better and grow and improve, and I still suck and I need to continuously get better at the work that I do, I think my channel deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Like, I think my channel is amazing. And you have to love what you do. You have to feel like the thing that you're doing, yes, can always get better, but is really solving a problem. Your product, your service, what you create, your expertise solves a problem. You know that it's genuinely helping people. If you don't have that belief, you're never gonna win.
Rule number 47, use technology to your advantage.
There are 3 ways to use technology, and most people pick the one method that costs them money. You can be entertained, you can be educated, and you can create. Entertained, educated, create. The first one costs you money, entertainment. The second one is an investment, education. And the third one makes you money, create. The answer isn't to dump your phone and delete all social media. It's to use these insanely powerful tools to help you make money and achieve your goals. So what I want you to do is now evaluate how are you using technology and where does it fall into those 3 categories: entertain, educate, and create. I'll use me as an example. I'll go first, you go next. So for me, let me look at YouTube as an example. Great. Number 1, entertain. Very little. The only entertainment content that I consume on YouTube is gonna be 1, music, which is really more just getting my state into an energetic, positive one. And 2, on the weekends, League of Legends, watching my team, TSM, hopefully carry the day. Other than that, I don't spend any time on entertainment content. People send me links to videos. If Alex comes in and wants to show me some silly videos, like, dude, I'm working. I don't want to be entertained right now. I got stuff to do. I want to go crush it on my goals, on my dreams. I got a lot that I need to get done today. Don't send me this stuff. 2, educate. I use YouTube a lot. YouTube is my #1 source for education. More than books, more than podcasts, more than anything else, conferences, anything. YouTube is where I learn. Video content is where I learn. Most of my time spent on YouTube is researching and reviewing video clips that I am personally getting inspired by that then I want to share with you. If I am making a video that I'm sharing with you on any of my channels, it's because I have learned something from them. So I'm spending most of my time on YouTube being educated. And then number 3 is create, and I'm creating a lot. We're doing 3 videos a day across my 7 channels. So I'm creating, so I'm using YouTube not just as a way that costs me money, right? That I have to go spend money to buy something, but I'm using it to invest into myself as well as to create content and then generates a return as I can build a business around it.
Rule number 48, raise your standards.
Expecting excellence starts with you expecting excellence from yourself. People want to work for people who they aspire to be like. If someone excellent is working for you, but they have higher standards than you do, they will eventually leave you. Your company's limit is your standards. So I look at Alex as an example, who helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa. I invested into the company a number of years ago. I became the 100% owner in it, and then I'm training Alex to run it. One of the things that Alex had an issue was showing up on time. He had low standards for himself of being on time. If you said be here at 10 o'clock, he would be here at 10:15 or 10:20. And that just became what he was known for. Everybody knew Alex as a guy who didn't follow through, who came late to things, and that was Alex. Great. Some people are willing to put up with it. Some people will tolerate it because they like his energy, his enthusiasm, his fun, his bravado. They like it, and they have low standards for themselves. But high achievers, people who have high standards, that would drive them nuts. And people would leave the business. People would not want to work with them. People would want to go somewhere else because their standards are higher than the person that they're supposed to be working for. Nobody wants to be in that situation. You do not want to work for somebody who has lower standards than you do. And so the challenge became, Alex, we need to raise your standards. You need to start showing up not just on time, but early. For him now, it's 10 minutes early. So if he said he's gonna be here at 10, that means you're there at 9:50. You're there at 10 to 10. You have to be. So you're late. If you show up at 10 o'clock for Alex, his own standards, not somebody else. If you're showing up at 10 o'clock and you say you're gonna be there at 10 o'clock, he's late to himself. That's a starting point. And as his standards have risen, so have the people underneath his team who are willing to follow him. As your standards rise, as you care more about yourself and what you're doing and what you will no longer accept and tolerate, then the people who are working for you, their standards rise as well. And you're able to now attract a much wider pool because they want to level up. People want to be around you, yes, for your mission, but they want to level up. It's your responsibility to help people level up. And so if you're only at this point, as soon as somebody gets here, they're leaving. But as you can go here, then you can attract a lot of people underneath who want to level up. And they're going to learn from you, not just the knowledge, but the abilities, the mindset, the hustle, the energy, the drive that you pour into your business will be an inspiration to other people when you raise your own standards.
Rule number 49, stop comparing to others.
You need to stop judging your version of balance against someone else's. I think this is something that plagues at least the North American culture. We're constantly comparing what makes us happy against somebody else's life. You have a version of balance. You have a version of happiness. You have a version of passion. It's different for everybody. I can't judge you for what you're doing. The only test is, are you proud of yourself? Do your actions map to your ambitions? Is what's in your calendar a reflection of what will make you happy? And I think as soon as you can get into your own head, as soon as you can understand what happiness and balance and success looks like for you and stop comparing it against somebody else's version in your life or on Instagram, that's when you can actually go off and find the success you're after.
And rule number 50, the very last one before a very special bonus clip is tie your self-worth to the effort.
You need to tie your self-worth to the effort, not the results. If you tie your self-worth to the results, to achieving your goals, then you'll only take on things that you think you have a high chance of winning at. You'll constantly quit on your big goals and only go after the small ones. Tie your self-worth to trying, to the effort, to doing it when it's hard. Make yourself proud with the effort that you put in, not just when you win. But if you keep getting up every day and putting in effort that you are proud of, you will win on a level that you never thought was possible.
Now we've got a special bonus clip from Evan that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. It's time to go from just watching. It's time to go from just watching the video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1, who are 3 people in your life that you need to let go of? Question number 2, where are you playing small in your life right now? Number 3, what are you gonna do this week to build your self-esteem?
Just because you are following your passion, it doesn't mean you're gonna make money doing it. But I don't think you have to go work a job that you hate for a decade until you earn the right to go off and do the thing that you love. I think in a 2019, 2020 environment, we've proven that it doesn't have to take an insane amount of time for you to achieve financial success. The trick is to figure out how can you combine that thing that you love doing with something that serves other people so that you can make money doing it and it's not just a hobby for you that fills your soul. But I believe that the fastest way to make a lot of money is to be an entrepreneur, not to be an employee somewhere else. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, the lesson that comes up over and over and over and over again from all the people that I profiled is you have to do the thing that you love. You have to follow your passion. Otherwise, think about it. You're going up against people who love the thing that they're doing. You are competing with somebody who absolutely loves this thing, and for you, it's just a strategy. You're gonna lose. The people who love what they're doing will beat you every single day of the week. And so instead of fighting an unfair fight, you want to tilt the odds in your favor and do the thing that you love.
If you want to see Evan's video on 7 ways to start a business with no cash, click right here. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I'm gonna show you how to do it in 7 different ways, how you can make money and start a business without any startup capital. Here we go.